Hey everybody, welcome back to Stellar Performance Solutions, our wonderful podcast here at e-commerce Chris. And today I'm with Shane Barker of TraceFuse. Shane, I was trying to remember if you have been on this podcast before. I think this might be your first time.
It is my first time. Yeah, for this podcast anyways. Yeah, thank you so much for having me, man. I'm excited about it.
Yeah, this is our 5th year of doing the podcast. I can't even believe it.
Wow.
It was
long
like
time, huh?
COVID creation come to life 5 years later, which it's always fun to kind of keep an eye on the past with things like product reviews, right? Because there's been such a long history of crazy things happening with reviews, people artificially inflating their positive reviews on their own, hiring marketing companies and services and so forth. And then also people getting hit by fake negative reviews and the Vine program. There's so much kind of to dissect. Can you maybe just walk us through what you guys do, the function of the tool, and also typical use cases, if there's some way to give us just an overview of that?
Yeah, absolutely, man. So yeah, obviously reviews are, we always talk about this is like the lifeline of Amazon, right? I mean, that's what all buyers, what they do is they go look at reviews. And if you have good reviews, and guess what? They're buying your product. I mean, there's other pieces to it, but that reviews are the psychology behind that is that's the first thing that we look at when we jump on a page when it comes to Amazon. Obviously pictures and other things are variables as well, but if you have bad reviews, it doesn't matter how good your pictures are, right? I mean, that's definitely an indicator on whether somebody's going to buy a product or not. So what we decided was, a number of years ago, we were kind of looking at this going, hey, what can we do to help sellers? Because we knew that at times it could be difficult to get a hold of Amazon to remove reviews, even things that violate their own guidelines, right? So,
right, of course.
And so what we said is like, hey, how can we streamline this? I mean, obviously, as Amazon sellers, like you've already a million things to do, and there's always constant things that are changing. I mean, obviously you're on one of the largest platforms in the world. There's always something. And so we thought, God, what can we do to take some things away from sellers, right? Like some headaches. And reviews have always been one of those situations. So we built TraceFuse and we did testing for about 2 years. And then the last 3 years, we've really been able to scale this thing. We've got over 500 clients, removed over 13,000 reviews. Right. When I talk about 13,000 reviews, those are legit reviews that people are, telling you that your product maybe needs to be improved or something like that. Mm-hmm. We're looking at reviews that are actually against Amazon's guidelines. So they're cussing, mentioning a competitor, mentioning pricing, hate speech, stuff like that. Also FBA
using all caps.
Stuff. Yeah, all caps or just, I mean, hey, those are, I can't yell at people, not through Amazon, not through the platform. That would be illegal. Yeah. So, I mean, those types of things or FBA related stuff, right? So that can be shipping, used products being shipped, it being a week late, anything that would be Amazon's responsibility, not the seller's responsibility. Those are things we look at. If somebody comes to us and says, hey, I just want to get rid of all my critical reviews, that's just not what we do. That's not the service we provide. You're not going to have every single one be in violation. Also, I just don't think that's constructive. At the end of the day, that's trying to game the system if you're trying to get rid of everything. We just looked at it and said, hey, Amazon, these are your rules. What can we do to get these removed? And that's kind of what we built the business model around.
Yeah. I mean, I think most people that I've talked to are like, we want help removing reviews because people sometimes approach us saying, well, we haven't had any luck getting these removed. So we just wanted an escalation strategy and we want to have you run high level. And I was like, well, what are you trying to remove? And why are you trying to remove them in the first place? And they were like, I don't know. We just heard that lots of people can get reviews removed or it's worth a shot. Or it's kind of like there was no real reason.
Yeah. Just because I think I can. I heard that you can do it. So,
I mean, I wanted to get your take on this too. I've heard from other people who are like, we heard of some little trick to get a bunch of reviews removed. And it wasn't ostensibly breaking the rules or against policy, but maybe it's just a loophole. And people got a bunch of reviews. And then once Amazon finds the loophole, they close it, of course. But they were getting negative reviews. I don't know if they were just complaining that they were abusive, that they were from competitors. That comes up a lot in our world, of course. But it's an interesting topic. It's more interesting than on its face people might think, well, obviously, if it violates policies, they should remove it. And if you need help removing it, then get help. And if it doesn't violate policies, well, forget it. But people are always trying to finesse it, right?
Well, that's the key. Yeah. Finesse. And, you said even a keyword earlier when, there was a trick, there's a tactic, there's there's always a way around, this is the thing is the minute that Amazon stops one thing, right, then there's somebody else. I mean, I grew up in the SEO world. So guess what? The minute that somebody stopped this tactic, there was 10 other people that came up with 20 other tactics, and those were the new tactics. Google or Amazon, whoever's always trying to figure out, hey, what is the new thing, right? What is the way to get
Right.
around the system? For us, none of ours are tricks or tactics. We file cases with Amazon. I mean, obviously, there's some knowledge that we've learned through filing thousands of cases on, which
Right.
departments you get the highest success rate with, depending on what the review says. For us, this is more of a long-term thing. We do monitoring as well. So that will make it so that if these reviews come in, if you guys get attacked before Prime Day or Christmas, or really any time, then
Right.
our system will detect those reviews, see if they're in violation of Amazon's guidelines or fraudulent, and then be filing on them. So for us, this is more of a long-term thing. Somebody comes and says, I just want to remove, this one particular review. That's not really what we do. We're looking to clean up the listing, get you back up to your star rating, and get your sales back to where they need to be.
Yeah. And you're doing this globally, right? US, UK, Europe.
Well, we don't do Europe yet. So Europe
Okay.
is a little bit of a different deal because of you have to use your passport, and there's just a lot of different things that happen in
Right.
regards to filing their systems. We do
Yep.
UK, US, and then Canada. Those are the
Okay.
three that we do right now.
North
Yeah.
America. Yeah, got it.
Yeah.
And now with AI, because for the comparable situation, I guess would be the reimbursement claim tickets that people were filing. And some of the AI tools that people came up with were just spamming these requests to Amazon. And that's why Amazon got so aggressive about kind of defending themselves against that. Are there people trying to identify AI tools to just kind of crank through and get as many reviews deleted as possible without much oversight? Is that a problem?
Well, I mean, it's not the way that we do things. So the way we
Yeah.
use AI is really to take a look and just see if they're in violation of Amazon's guidelines. And then we use these things called humans. They're all going to
Yep.
get taken over by AI eventually in the next few weeks anyways. But
Yep.
while the humans are still here, we're using, all joking aside, we're using humans. We manually file, right? I mean, we're looking at things, and if Amazon says, hey, you can only do 20 of this, we're doing 5 of this, right? We're
Mhm.
super conservative when it comes to filings. We obviously don't want to make Amazon mad. The beauty of what we do is we're just literally doing a lot of investigation work for Amazon, saying, hey, listen, these are your rules. This is in violation of your rules. Can you get this removed? So when you talk about the FBA refunds, the difference is FBA refunds are looking for money back, right? So they're saying, hey, you owe me $100,000. And Amazon's like, oh, that's not a great email to receive, right? And for us, we're saying, hey, this guy used the F word. We want to clean up the platform. We're on the same page
Right.
as you. So for us, this is a long-term, fully compliant with Amazon, not looking to make Amazon mad. We always want to play good in the playpen with Amazon. That's
Right.
always our goal, but we are persistent. One of our things is perseverance. So good thing about us is that if we file a case today, we're not going to ask Amazon for an update every hour. We're not going to make them mad. We know if you go like with brand registry, their internal process is 5 to 7 days to respond, right? So we give them 5 to 7 days to respond. Once again, we don't want to make Amazon mad. The goal is to say, hey, we're really on your side, right? At the end of the day, we're doing this together. We are doing the investigative work, and you guys can go and pull the trigger to get the review removed. And we've developed some great relationships, just obviously with our customers, but also Amazon, and building up that trust over the last few years.
I mean, in terms of abuse situations, do you still see people who are trying to leave the same phrases and words on
Oh, yeah.
certain reviews, and you're like associating those with the same accounts? I mean, are they still kind of sloppy and disorganized like that? Or have they gotten better at, well, we're going to leave the same type of review, but we're going to change the wording around a few more times?
Yeah. I mean, I think they've evolved, right? I do believe they've gotten better. I mean, not better. I mean, that's a terrible term. I think they've gotten
More
I guess
sophisticated.
more sophisticated. I don't want to say better because that's not the right term, but yeah, more sophisticated for sure. So what we're seeing now is we see people, this is about a month and a half ago, I had a client come to us and say, hey, can you remove a 5-star review? I've never had anybody ask me to remove a 5-star ever. And I'm like, why, what is it?
Yeah.
And they sent it over to me. And I've seen this in the past, hey, this is a great product, but I really wish it was as good as this one. But I did
Mhm.
enjoy this one. My kids really liked it, but my kid's favorite product was this one. And it's like this backhanded slap. You're like, I think they liked my product, but they really liked the other one better. And guess what? That's your best review, because then they write that it's helpful. And then guess what?
Mhm.
Your best review that you got out there is saying that they should not go with your product. They should go with another one, but in a very complimentary way where you're thinking, okay, is this good or is this bad? And then your sales
Right.
start to tank, and that's the situation. So yeah, we see a lot of that stuff happening. The crazy part is any of the reviews, let's say up until today in the past, so if they have new tactics, there's still millions of reviews that have violations, right? So our work will never be done. Even if everybody changes everything today, from here moving back, there's still a lot of stuff that Amazon, I do believe, does what they can to try to stop them. But if it's on the platform and it's there, the reason why people were real sloppy back in the day is because Amazon historically didn't do a lot, right? Or at least some of them would get through. It's kind of like I call it, it's like the drug game to me. It's like when you go through California, they have 10 trucks that have drugs in them. 3 of them get caught and the other 7 get through, right? So it's kind
Yeah,
of the
that's
same thing
the
with Amazon.
approach. Yeah,
Yeah, it's like
yeah,
I'm just going to bombard it. Amazon will catch some of them because they naturally will, and then the other ones they get through, and they're still going to go after the product. So,
yeah.
for us, we're the kind of the backup to the Border Patrol, right? We're the second line of defense. We're the sheriffs in San Diego County line or something that are going to be there if the drugs get through.
Catching
So
the
that's kind
cartel
of
trucks. Yeah,
that's it.
yeah,
Yeah, which
yeah.
Amazon's a lot safer than cartels now that I think about it. So I probably shouldn't. If any cartels are out there, I'm not really doing that. I just want them to know that
That's
I do
right.
like. I'm not saying I
You're
advocate
not
for drugs.
messing
I'm
with their
just
bottom line.
no, I
We'll
don't.
make
Not
it very clear
cartels.
in the show notes. The 5-star reviews, I have seen people who are some competitor buys from them, leaves a 5-star review, and then tries to make it look like they've been incentivized to leave 5-star reviews to try to catch
Yeah.
them, to try to report them. They try to set you up and frame you, and then they report you for abuse. That happened for the first time. I think I saw it maybe 2 years ago or last year. And that does still occasionally happen. So I do hear from people that want 5-star reviews deleted.
It's
Yeah.
crazy. I would have never expected that. And then you look at the reading and you go, wow, that is tricky. They are getting, they'd say better, but they're definitely getting more strategic in how they do things, which is really sucks. It's already hard enough to
Yeah.
be an Amazon seller, and especially with tariffs and all the other
Oh,
a million
everything.
things you got to deal with. Yeah. It's like, there's always something that's going to be, I always tell people when I talk to them, if you're a brand new seller and we're talking to them, I said, I postpone people sometimes of signing up with us. And that's only because I go, man, you just started making $1. And of course, when you make $1, everybody wants a quarter, right? And you got 10 people
Yeah.
that want a quarter and you just made $1. So for us, it's more of like, hey, let's maybe talk in another month or two. And it makes more sense when you have more reviews that we can maybe make an impact on your products. Because in the beginning, unless they get attacked when it's a launch, which is a whole nother conversation.
Yeah, for sure. And do you go to like the Accelerate conference in Seattle,
Yeah.
like Prosper Show, see Amazon people there? What kind of conversations, I mean, without getting too specific, which you probably don't want to do, have you had with Amazon about trying to get these reviews cleaned up? Because obviously it's a hot topic. Lots of people pay attention to the product review solicitation space and with the fake reviews.
Yeah, we have had conversations with Amazon. Like I said, we play well with them. And at the end of the day, we don't want to be non-compliant at all or even anywhere close to that. So for us, that's the biggest thing. Like I've had to drop clients in the past that have sent me emails. They're like, hey, here goes a review that you guys, looks like you guys removed. But at the end of the day, we told them that we were going to give them the product for free and we asked for them to update the review. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh
Yeah.
man, I can't be a part of that like at all.
I know.
Like
I know.
you say anything like that in an email, my hands go up and I'm like, how do I delete this thing? Who do I need to tell? Who do I? So yeah, for us, we are so compliant. It's ridiculous. And I said, we have had talks with Amazon. It's not like we have a connection at Amazon that hooks us up or anything. We file cases just like everybody else, except we know the process a lot better because we filed thousands of cases. So we know how to put the templates together. We know which departments. We've trained our filing team. So that's the differentiator, is that we've filed so many cases. If you're a seller, you're not going to probably be able to file thousands of cases because we had multiple sellers accounts that we were filing with to kind of test some things. And so we were able to kind of crack the code through that. And so now we have a very, very defined process that we're 1,000% compliant with Amazon. But, we don't have the stamp of approval. Like Amazon hasn't come to me and said, hey, Shane, we love what you're doing. We definitely have had conversations and said, kind of what does this look like? How can we both, be in this space? And for me, it's like, I just want to do good by sellers, because like, as I said, it's already hard enough. And if we could take this headache off of their shoulders, which is a big headache because it affects your PPC costs, affects so many different things.
It's a major problem.
It's pretty crazy. Yeah. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah. So before we wrap up, any other initiatives, programs you got coming down the pike, anything pre-Prime Day, or do you want to just let people to know how to reach you? Or
well, one thing I would like to people to know is that we did just come out with the tool, Amazon Review Checker tool. And so that's going to be if clients, so obviously we have about 500 clients and some of our clients, can't afford our services because they have, thinner margins or just starting. So what we did is I created a tool called, you can go to tracefuse.ai, but we'll also, I'm sure we'll put something in the show notes, but it's an Amazon Review Checker. And what that does, they just put in their ASIN, they verify their email address, and it actually will create a report for them to tell them exactly the reviews that are against Amazon's guidelines, why they're against Amazon's guidelines. And they can actually take that report and they can send it to Amazon and try to get those reviews removed. So we're trying to take the guesswork out. We're trying to get them at least headed in the right direction. They're using ChatGPT. We don't use ChatGPT. We have our own AI that we've created, and we've been kind of feeding it with all the fun knowledge and all that stuff. So we offer that for free to anybody that wants to give it a try. So we'll put that in the show notes as well.
Sounds good. All right. So best place to reach you if they have any questions about anything we talked about today?
Yeah, if you have any questions or anything, I'll be in this chair answering emails for the rest of my life. You can reach me at Shane, that's SHANE, at TRACEFUSE.ai. That's Shane at tracefuse.ai. Get a hold of me at any time. You guys can go to the typical platforms, LinkedIn, Twitter, X, whatever it's called this week. You know,
Right.
I'll be around. And like I said, you guys have any questions about reviews, then let me know. And if you have anything about suspensions, I might know somebody that might be able to help you with suspensions. Chris, do you know anybody?
I do. It's the person
Okay.
who's sitting here for the rest of their life answering emails.
Yes. See, it's
So
good to have goals.
we
Same
have that in
goals.
common. It's good to have
We
things
do.
in common. Shared goals, helping sellers minimize the pain and sometimes the agony of selling on Amazon. Yeah.
That is it.
For
That is
sure.
exactly it.
Well, great. Glad to hear all this and hope things go well. And if anyone has any questions, reach out to Shane. Otherwise, we will catch you next time on the next episode of Seller Performance Solutions. Thanks again.